Welcome back to our show. Once again, my name is Mrs. Augustina Anyanwu. And help me welcome my friend
Glorynezemma. Welcome back to our Sweet Home Africa. Once again, it's a pleasure to have you as our viewer. So we have another topic today. Our topic today is Africans. Private houses are not industrious. I know it's just a sentence that I made, and people will be wondering, what does she mean by that? All right, a lot of wealthy Africans, what they do is like they keep on building houses and houses. When they get money, they build houses in different cities. And unfortunately, these are not rental houses. These are private houses everywhere. And they can have 20 houses, but they live in one. So that's why my friend and I were here today. So, give a little advice in terms of what Africans can do with their money. Because I know people talk about Africa as they don't have money, they're poor, they're poor, they're poor. But we have lived in the Western world, and we have seen rich Africans in Africa. Africans have money, but the only thing is that we displace the usage of our money. We put it in the wrong places. So, my dear friend, go ahead.
This is a very, very nice topic. Yes, building big houses. That's not investment. That's all the word. It's not investment. Buying a Maserati, buying any kind of car is not investment because those things depreciate.
Thank you.
So now, my brothers and sisters, I know a whole lot of us a whole lot of people in Africa are so fortunate to have some money, to be wealthy. So being wealthy, part of it, like my friend said, is not building house over here in this country, in this continent, the whole continent of Africa. You have houses in it.
You have one in
You
Ghana.
have houses
One in Ghana, one in Nigeria. One
all
in
over the
Senegal.
world.
Yes.
And then you go to, you travel outside the country, you buying houses. What are you going to do with them? So let's do a new thing, because this is a new world now that we're in, a world after COVID. So now when God bless you like that, I think building industries, building factories should be a sign of having money, employing people. A whole lot of us that get money like that, what do? We start doing what?
Parties.
Spreading it.
No. Before we get to the spreading, no. That one we'll get to the spreading. There's a little area that I want to go into.
Go ahead.
Just to clarify with our viewers.
Yes.
When we say buying houses, what a lot of Africans do, they buy private houses. So it's not that they are. People
condominiums, apartments.
Exactly. It's not like real estate in terms of investing, so that we yield money for them. What a lot of Africans, musicians, a lot of Africans that have money, what they do is like they build private house, almost like the size of a cathedral.
That's exactly what I want to say. That the house is not 2 or 3 bedrooms. Maybe you have 5 kids. At least build 5 bedrooms.
Yes.
Fine.
So it's not rental property that we yield them money. So that's what I wanted us to clarify before we go deeper. So they build all these houses in different cities, and like I said, it's the size of a church, a big church. And then it's an individual, sometimes with 2 children.
And their children are abroad.
We have so many areas we're going into. So unfortunately, they have this, some of them will have like 4 or 5 houses, like we said, one in Ghana, one in Nigeria, one in Sierra Leone, one in Kenya. And these are, mansions.
If it's in Nigeria, they have in their hometown, they have in Abuja, they have in Lagos.
Exactly. And then unfortunately, when they die, these houses are not yielding money. Don't forget, these are private houses, and they put securities all over the place. So most of the time, the security people end up owning the houses because there's no one there. So it's not, that's what I want to clarify before we go to get cheaper. It's good to buy a house if it is a house that rental property that will yield money. So these are private houses that they're stationing everywhere around the country. So it's not helping them, and it's not even helping their families. They're just showing off, and it's not helping the country itself. So that's what I wanted to clarify before we go deeper in terms of houses.
Yeah.
So go ahead, my
On
friend.
that
What you said
aspect
about
too, we are
spending
talking
money.
about no condition is permanent.
Exactly.
You might have it now building all over the place. If you don't handle your money properly, that money might leave you. That job you have that particular time might leave. Health issues might pop up, and then you don't have anything that is bringing money in. Then you want to live on yesterday when I used to have money. So we are not going to, nobody's praying for that. What we are saying, you can build houses, but build a house that is not the size of a cathedral, as my friend said. Because first of all, you're using the land somebody's supposed to use as a factory or industry or schools, something that can be yielding money, or you use it and build investment properties. In fact, you can build stores, you can build anything, that's your money. But when you start building houses that can accommodate the whole village, and it's only you and your wife or maybe the maid, because you already send your daughters abroad. So, or your sons.
Exactly.
You send your loved ones, your children, you send them abroad. And then eventually when you get there, you buy another house. So looking at it, I'm not going to call it a wasteful spending because that's what you love. That's your money. I know that's what some people will say is my money. That's your money. But what I'm saying, what if anything happened? That position you're in today, you're no longer there. What will happen? Will you be able to support your livelihood? So my friend, let me go back to you so that you can continue.
Thank you so much, my friend. I love everything that you said. In terms of the investment property.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Because I know a lot of Africans, especially the young ones now that are making money. So most of them are very wealthy, like the ones in their 30s and their 40s are making a lot of money. And then many of you are watching us and we're like, okay, what are these women talking about? What are we going to do with the money instead of just throwing it away and buying houses everywhere in Africa? All right, so our advice is this. This is just a motherly advice that we want to give you. If you have a lot of money, you can invest it in rental properties. That's what they do in the Western world. And then it will be money that will be in your family, even when you're dead and gone. Not even dead and gone. When you're older, your children will still manage those properties. And then will yield you a lot of money. I mean, some people here, they build estates. But once again, I know Africans, they have estates, but it's not like mansion estates where rich people live. You can build estates for low-income people so that they can rent from you. Once again, it will keep on yielding money. Because one thing about money is this. You can have tons of money today. Just like my friend said, 20 million, 30 million naira, and depending on the currency, you will have it today. But if you don't channel it into something that will keep on giving you money, you will lose the money after a while. And that's why a lot of Africans go into a lot of crime. Because they kidnap, they do this to get money, and they throw it away, and they do this, and when they're doing party, they throw it all over the place because they're not channeling it anywhere. I'm not saying don't go into crime to make money, but people that are making money the good way, channel it somewhere so that it can help you. Let's say if you have $100 today, if you channel it into real estate, I know it's a small amount of money, but I'm just using it as an example. If you channel it into something, maybe within a few months it will yield $200, another month it will yield $300, and that money will be there. Actually, it will be a family legacy. That's why you hear about families here in the Western world. They are wealthy. They're even like 20 or 30 years ago, they were still wealthy, and their next generation will still be wealthy because they channel their money into a source where it will continue to yield money. They didn't use it to buy big houses here, big houses here. No. People here put money where money will help to make more money. That's what I wanted to say. Go ahead, my friend.
My dear, you said it all. All I'm going to add, as you mentioned, is a motherly advice. When you get money, first of all, you need to have a mentor. Because a whole lot of you have no idea that money can come and go faster than it come in. Like I said, God forbid you get sick or anything happen or you lose that source of income. The sources where you're getting your income. Once that money come to you, you look at it, who is your mentor? Look for people that have money, that have made investment. Let's say in Africa, we have people like Dangote or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out to them. Let them see, approach them and see if they can be your godfather, your mentor. Is there any other person around your country
Mm-hmm.
that you can see as a mentor? Get advice from them. I don't think they're going to charge you. Don't act like if I go to them now, they think I'm competing with them. And you, an older grandfather, that you already know what you're doing, a little child approach you, give them the right advice. Don't mislead them. So on doing that, you will be able to know better how to channel your money on the businesses that can go down or those that can go up. That's why you have to have a mentor, because they will tell you things they did that didn't work and what they did that worked. No matter they say what didn't work for them, you might do one or two things to make it work for you, because everybody is different. But there is no foolish advice. When they give you, when you have that mentorship, you get in hard time or anything, you will call them. You say, look, I did it this way and nothing is happening. And see what they have to tell you. And patient, again, is the name of the game. You make that money right now, today. What are you going to do to make triple? Like my friend said, that's those that we think civilized countries. That's what they do. When they get money, they don't go and buy a car, expensive car with it. They will buy a car when that money start yielding money.
Exactly.
It's not when you make, as soon as you see that money, you go and use it and buy Ferrari and drive around the village doing nothing, drive around the city doing nothing. Then you know you got something coming, because when that car breaks down, you do not have a means of doing what? Fixing it. Eventually you will junk it somewhere in one of the properties you have. So building a school as a place you live, I don't think is a show of wealth. What are you doing? Is your wealth benefiting any other person? Not the security guard, not your driver. I'm just not your cook, and not all those high school students. Is it benefiting anybody? What about your lineage? What about the next generation? Will it benefit them? Like my friend said, you can build something that other people will be drawing their sources of income, not the money you spread out, because that will finish that day. Teach them how to fish. Please don't give nobody fish. If you teach them how to do things, people can look at you and see that, oh, he have money now, look at what he's doing. He's benefiting the society. He's benefiting the village or the town. Then other people will do what? They will copy what you're doing, the right thing. My dear.
Thank you so much, my friend. Actually, while you were talking, once again, I know people, they're listening. They're like, all right, how do we bring this closer home? Let me just give you this simple idea. Let's say if you're from the eastern region, where, I mean, this is where I come from, so that's what I know. They have like Aba. Aba is, once again, I call it a chamber of commerce. So if you are very wealthy, what you could do, you could go there. A lot of young kids are making shoes. You could go to them and then invest your money into one or two kids that are making shoes. You can even make it your brand name shoe. So let's say if your name is Ike, what you could do, you can even tell those kids, give them a lot of money, import what they need to make shoes and put your label on it. So that means you become the owner of Ike sneakers. That's what they do. That's how people are making money. The ones that are making handbags, somebody can go and invest in them. The ones that are making clothes, somebody can go and invest in them, and then make it your own brand. Everything that we're making in Africa, invest money in those youths, because they want to do more, but they don't have the money. So you can do it, and once you do it, the business will be there, and then you promote your business. It will be long lasting. Even your children and grandchildren and great grandchildren will benefit from it. Because we don't want to throw out names from the Western world, but this is how they established their family, even generations from now. Once again, like I said, a lot of Africans, we don't watch documentary and we don't read history. Many Africans that were wealthy many years ago and built these mansions all over the place. When you look at the documentaries, many of those mansions, they are abandoned. Some of them are burnt. Why? because when they built those houses all over the place, once again, like my children always, I mean, my friend always say, they throw their children overseas. And when they die, the children do not come back to claim those houses. They abandon them. So you have so many abandoned mansions in Africa because the children are all over.
Mm-hmm.
They are outside Africa.
That's right.
So our point is this: please invest your money into something. Don't just build mansions all over the place. It's not an industry. Mansion is not an industry. That's not how to develop a nation. You have to use it, build stores, build things that people can rent. But places that people can, like my friend said, benefit from. And then it will yield money for you. That's what it is. And then let's go to the ones that throw money. I know it's not all over Africa, but
then, can I say something?
we're Nigerians, exactly. Go ahead.
Let me say something.
Mm-hmm.
Like as we are saying, your lineage is when you have your children there, because if you send your children out, they don't know what you're doing. They cannot continue. Your posterity will be dead once you die. You need your children around so that you can teach them.
Exactly.
Because once you teach them, let's say you make bread, that's the commonest thing, or you make equipment that makes bread.
Mm-hmm.
If your children are not there with you, when they go to school, they come back, they see what you're doing. They know you show them how hard it is to make money. Because I know a lot of wealthy people, their children act rude, some act nice, some act like money is nothing, but it's their parents' money. They don't know jack what to do, what you went through, how many hours you put in for them to live good. When you die or anything happened to you, they cannot continue that legacy. They cannot. It will be dead because you never teach them. You send them out or you leave them in the house and they don't come out to do anything. Rather, you use a man. You use people that you think that are okay for them to get dirty. Because you need to start, our advice is you have to start teaching your children. No matter how wealthy you are, let your children learn those things. From A to B, all the nooks and corners, what it took you to start the business and what it took you to get the business running the extent it can, so that that wealth will continue, so that they will be able even to build a better factory more than you did.
Exactly. And actually, when you were talking again, what came to my mind is agriculture. I know we talked about agriculture. I talked about the business. But when you look at it, if you have money, you can even channel it into these youths that are into agriculture. Let's say if someone has a farm and they are planting things, but it's just like they have small acres of land that they're using. What you could do, you can even, work
invest
with
in
invest in that young person, and then two of you can write a contract. All right, so I will give you money to buy more acres of land, and then I will give you money to buy equipment into like mechanized farming. And then whatever it yields, you write percentage. You will take some and you will take some. But then once again, that's an investment with your money. So these are things that you could do. And I know we keep on talking when people die, and everybody will be like, oh, I know a lot of Africans were like, oh, well, let me eat now. When I died, I'm not worried about it. But why are we bringing this up? Because a lot of Africans are running to the Western world. And these are what people in the Western world are doing. That makes their own place much better. So we have a tendency of running where the bed is made already, instead of staying and make our own bed. So because we live here, we have seen what is going on here, we're bringing some of the things that we have seen here that is helping. Them over here, why they are who they are. So that's why we're giving you this advice. What you could do, invest your own money at home, so that when, like I said, die, that we're saying, so that when you grow old, the next generation, even your children and your grandchildren, will not suffer the way that Africans are suffering now. So that's what we're saying. It's not even when people die, but these people in the Western world laid foundation for their own children, and that's why their children are living comfortable. So we want our own children in Africa not to suffer the same way that we're suffering. We don't want them to be, working 24 hours. They don't have time to rest. They don't have time to sit down and read to their children. They don't have time even to tell the stories that Africans used to do before. We sit on the ground and tell stories to the children. And this is how we pass our history. But because everybody's running now trying to make money, they don't have time.
We're losing our history.
Exactly. So nobody has time to sit with the children and tell them stories. So that's why we're saying this. So when you invest in things like this, you make life better for the next generation so that they can relax a little bit and then be able to nurture their own children and then pass our history like we usually do, like we said, oral history. Spend quality time with the children.
That's right.
So that's why it's very important that you invest your money in a good way. And before we end, we must talk about the flashing of money in Africa. I know it's not a lot of countries that do it, but we're Nigerians. So Nigerians are known for throwing money. I don't know if
showing off their wealth.
I don't know if it's a ceremony, but showing off, actually, you're supposed to show off by investing. And so that when people walk around, they say, oh, this belongs to Bruno, this belongs to Ike, this belongs to Okechukwu. But it's not just throwing the money. And I'm looking at it, I said, is everything okay that somebody's throwing the money? All right, let's give an advice on where you can channel your money instead of throwing it like that. Let's say some people have burials that they're doing. They want to bury their mother, they want to bury their father. Beautiful. I know we did an episode about expensive burial, but let me just give you a little advice.
Okay.
What you could do, instead of throwing that money all over the place and the people are running like chicken to get it, some of them get wounded in the process, pack the money. If you have a school in your community, you could use it to repent, simple repenting. Just take gallons of paint, repent the school, and tell the villagers, I did this in memory of my mother. I did this in memory of my father. Go to your local clinics, buy them beds, equip the clinics, and tell them, I lost my mother, but I did this in the memory of my mother. What you're throwing is not going to help them. But if you do that, they will remember you forever for what you have done. And they will even remember your mother. Throwing that money all over the place, it's not going to make people rich. Rather, it causes so much havoc. Because what they do, they're running out. Like I said, people get injured in the process. So it's not a good way to say thank you to your mother. Because I think if your mother is alive or if your father is alive, I think your mother and father would advise you to invest it in something that will benefit the people and not to just throw it up. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, that's a very nice advice. And right now we have doctors, we have scientists, but what we don't have is the money to do research. Cancer is killing people. Too many diseases, diabetes, how to at least maintain it. There are too many things killing people back home. And then when somebody is sick in the village, let's say where I come from, you got to carry the person, look for vehicles.
There's no ambulance.
Then there's no ambulance. Then you have to start running down all the way to Owerri. So long as you have the money to put down payment. So there are so many ways, so many places we can invest. Make investment in hospitals, make investment in training, like training people for simple CPR. Because doctors, a lot of accidents happen. People are not dead if you can give them the CPR that is needed. Anybody can give a CPR. You can invest in trainings like that. You can invest in finding the cure for cancer. I know we can do that. Instead of people dying for simple mistakes because there's no money. You can donate money to hospitals and say the first 10 people that come here, do not charge them anything.
Yes.
You understand? You can do that. And we compete with each other. Once you do that and tell somebody else in your meeting, another person is going to make the donation. We can fix, like she said, we used to have dispensary when we were growing up. That's like urgent care. So we can have urgent care where people that get hurt, each village at least should have one, so that you can take them right away there and treat them. Even in school, she mentioned school. You don't have to be only paint. You got the money, instead of throwing it anyhow. People are picking it and some people getting hurt while they're bending to pick the money. You're throwing on this road when the car is driving.
Yes,
you're throwing money. You block traffic just for people to follow you and pick money on the floor. That's not okay that way. You can use that money to put computer in schools. There are things to do. Build library in the school.
And call it your mother's name or your father's name. Exactly.
Do something other than what you're doing. Something that's a legacy. Even your children can come and see it and they say, oh my, there are so many things that we can do with the God-given money. Or like my friend said, train little children, build us, if you see their talent, help them to enhance it by giving them the fund necessary to, to come out. That's exactly what people do. And when you do that, your legacy will live on forever.
Okay, well, we're done.
Okay.
I know it's becoming a little bit a touchy topic because we're from Africa and we see what is going on. And we have few people that are rich and we have many that are poor. So that's why we're bringing up this. And the rich are not helping the poor that much in Africa. And that's the difference, because in the Western world, I'm telling you, we live here, we see how they lift each other up. And that's why many of them look like they're wealthy. It's because they help each other. But a lot of Africans, we're so much selfish, I'm sorry to use it that way. When you have money, you keep it to yourself, and then sometimes even poor people could be there, like we said, you just throw it like corn for chicken to come and
pick up.
That's not a way to do it. You can, if you really love your people, you can do better. Help them, even the roads. Like when you watch some of these burials, you could see. They put the body in Lamborghini, but the roads that they're driving, you have potholes all over the place. So I'm ending it with this simple advice again. What you could do. Instead of throwing that money, use that money and grade that road in your village that leads to your house. And tell your people, I did this in memory of my mother, and I did this in memory of my father. They will appreciate you more for what you have done than just throw the money on the floor. That's all I have, my friend. I don't know if you have more.
All I have to say, like we said, people are, about the rich people have money. We want to use this medium to thank some of you that are doing so great.
That's
because
true.
I know one musician adopted a blind boy.
I know him.
Boy.
Flavor. Oh my, that's
One of my best
not
musician. A blind boy. I said the boy that is blind. Bless you, and there are so many of you too that are doing something so great like that,
Flavor.
and so marvelous
Yes.
that we have not come across it. So we say more grace to your elbow.
Yes.
We appreciate each and every one of you that find it out of their own time and have a heart to do something extraordinary like that. So all Africans, that's something to copy.
Yes.
You can donate. You can continue to donate to the motherless homes. You can continue to donate to if they have a place for the blind or any other place that you can donate to. So please do that.
Yes.
Don't throw the money on the street before somebody get hurt running around picking the money you're in the car, throwing on the street. To me, I think it's a little bit degrading.
Exactly.
All right.
That's the right
So
word.
I know you don't mean it that way, but you're looking at it from where we are, it's so degrading. You are in the car and you're throwing money on the air, wherever it fall. People were fall there, 3-4 people chasing whatever that bill that was thrown there before somebody get hurt. You don't mean any harm, but do it the right way.
Exactly.
All right, God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you once again for being our viewer. We all love you, and we want life to be better for our people in Africa and everywhere that we are. We're very good people, to be honest. I love Africans. Thank you so much for watching us at our Sweet Home Africa.